What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and in today's video we hit Legend, the highest rank currently in Go Battle League. We did it this morning, and I did it with a very hardcore meta team, as you guys can see over there on the far side. I was stuck for about 2 weeks in the 2700s. I know a lot of you are as well, and I just decided to go with a super meta team, and lo and behold, it helped me climb up 300 rating in 2 days. I did this in 7 sets, going 25 and 10, climbing up from 2700 to 3024, as we can see right here. And I will suggest, if you guys do not have Tropius and Defense Form Deoxys like you guys see over there, my suggestions for alternatives would be, for Tropius, use Venusaur or Jumpluff, and for Defense Form Deoxys, use Mew or Hypno. I think the typing and the coverages are kind of similar when it comes to those Pokemon, but Galarian Stunfisk on the lead is still amazing, everyone. It catches a lot of great Pokemon. Rock Slide is still a decent move, and that Earthquake is absolutely devastating. And having Defense Form Deoxys or a Psychic on the safe swap is pretty strong right now in the meta. So we're going to take a look at these battles that help me climb up from 2700 to Legend, and they are sweaty, everyone. These are probably some of the sweatiest battles I've ever done in my life, and rightfully so. Everyone is grinding to try to get this rank. So let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this team. How's you guys' season going so far in Go Battle League? Let's go ahead and get right into the battles. Alright, getting into this first battle, let's see how this one goes. We got Stunfisk on the lead versus Pelipper. This is actually not a good matchup for us. Weather Ball does so much damage, and Pelipper can win this in the one shield here. So what we're looking to do is basically throw this Rock Slide, and then I want to try to swap out into Defense Form Deoxys, trying to catch a charge move. I'm guessing they may build up to 2 Weather Balls. So I'm just going to go ahead and swap right away. And I do get to the Psycho Boost, which is very, very important. Psycho Boost on Defense Form Deoxys really helps out in matchups, especially right here, because I can no-shield this, and we CMP tied, meaning I'm going to get a shield from them or take out potentially their only counter to Galarian Stunfisk, so we'll likely be seeing a shield. So we do get a shield, and then they're going to be swapping out here shortly. So they do swap out. They swap into Galarian Stunfisk right here. So what's important with Defense Form Deoxys is to not throw any energy. What you guys want to do as many counters as you physically can, and then I'm going to be going for Psycho Boost right here, right before I go down, so I can get off multiple charge moves, because the most damage that you'll actually do to a Galarian Stunfisk with a Defense Form Deoxys is your fast move. So you actually just don't want to throw any energy, because you'll lose out on more damage, right? So we're just going to throw this double Psycho Boost right here, get it to 50%, and then I'm actually swapping out back into Galarian Stunfisk, saving Defense Form Deoxys. Because of our switch clocks are out of sync, I can keep that Defense Form Deoxys as a sack swap, and I do decide to shield the Earthquake right there, and then we're going to go ahead and throw Earthquake, either taking out Galarian Stunfisk or getting their final shield, right? So we'll have to see what they decide to do. They decide to let it go, which is fine. Pelipper's probably going to come back in, which it does. Weather Ball does not one-shot, but it still hurts. So what I'm looking to do right here is try to get to that Rock Slide if I can. No, they can't. They have multiple charge moves right here. So I'm actually going to go ahead and let this go. I'm guessing their Galarian Stunfisk was the only counter to Tropius. There could be a Bastiodon in the back, but I'm going to risk it for that Biscuit and come in with Tropius, and we do see a Defense Form Deoxys. So this is actually a winnable matchup. Now, what's very important with Tropius versus Defense Form Deoxys is the move you have to look out for is Rock Slide. It will not one-shot, neither will Thunderbolt or Psycho Boost. So you don't want to give up a shield early. What you want to do is see what move they have. If they have Rock Slide, this is basically not going to be a winning game for us. But if they don't, and they have, well, actually they do have Rock Slide right there. So it's going to be tough. We're going to have to do a sack swap. But in future battles, which you guys will see, if they have Thunderbolt, it's definitely more winnable. So what we're going to have to do is really balance our energy right here. We do have a shield, though. I thought I was no shield right here, but we do have a shield. So we're going to go ahead and shield Rock Slide, right? Now that they've shown they had Rock Slide, there's no way they throw Psycho Boost or Thunderbolt. They're just going to keep throwing Rock Slides, which is fine. What's important here is I overcharge a bit. I'm going to go ahead and go for one more fast move right there, because Pelipper is going to come back in, and this is going to be a race. So we take out the Defense Form Deoxys, and then I'm going to swap now into Defense Form Deoxys and catch the Weather Ball. Oh man, that's why you're on Team Instinct, right? You got those safe swap instincts. We soak the Weather Ball right there. Tropius is going to come back in, do one more Air Slash, and we are going to be able to get to the Leaf Blade right here, and this will be taking out the Pelipper. So a very sweaty matchup right there. Yeah, the sack swaps were real when it comes to this climb to Legend rank. All right, moving into this next battle, we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Toxicroak. Absolutely terrible. This is like one of the worst leads you ever want to see. We're going to go ahead and swap in Defense Form Deoxys right away, and that's where Psycho Boost really helps out as well. And this is one of the worst swap-ins ever, too, is an Umbreon, because, you know, we really can't do a lot. Counter does do super effective damage because of that dark typing, but they decide to shield. I now have a win condition. If they went with no shield right here, we would have basically lost this matchup. But now I have shield advantage, so I'm going to play to that. And what we're going to do is we're going to let Defense Form Deoxys go down. Thanks for playing, man. But it got a shield. So now what we're going to do is throttle the health on Stunfisk. Stunfisk's ability to beat Toxicroak comes from its energy, not more health. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this Umbreon just spray as many foul plays as it wants into us, because what I want to have is an Earthquake for Toxicroak when it comes in. Because they're in one shield situation, I will either get the final shield or I will one-shot it. And the one-shot is always so satisfying. So as you guys are going to see, I'm just going to keep overloading on energy. I'm going to build up to 100 energy basically and then throw my Earthquake, because the Earthquake will also not take out the Umbreon. It's going to get extremely low. So as you guys saw, I got it to 100 energy. We're going to throw the Earthquake right here. This is going to get Umbreon really, really low, and now I can fast move farm down so that I can have that Earthquake for the Toxicroak coming back in. Again, giving them a huge choice, because if I throw Tropius 2 shields, as long as they don't have maybe a Skarmory in the back, we're actually looking pretty good. So the second Toxicroak comes in, I'm throwing that Earthquake right here. This will one-shot if they decide not to shield. And are we booming on a Wednesday morning? We are boom! We land it right there, and then I swap straight into Tropius against the Shadow Hypno, and this is going to be a good battle. Leaf Blade and Air Slash does a lot of neutral damage right here, and we have shield advantage. So yeah, this is going to be a good game, but that is why we, you know, if we get a win opportunity there by getting a shield from that Umbreon, if they didn't shield and they just let it go, there was no way we could have possibly won this game, really, potentially. So thankfully they didn't. I mean, I guess we could have come into Tropius, got shields from Hypno, and let Galarian Stunfisk come in and farm a bit, and then Earthquake. That could have been another play, but right here, this is definitely our win con. Just double shield and go for basically one more Leaf Blade, and that is going to be a good battle right there. Very well played to my opponent. But yeah, the Earthquake right there is so deadly. We still have Stunfisk in the back as well, but we're just going to throw this final Leaf Blade, and that's going to be taken out. So like I'm saying, these are some really, really sweaty battles. It comes down to one decision made in the game in order to win these as you climb up to Legend, and that right there was that shield on Umbreon really helped us out. Alright, so we have Stunfisk versus Stunfisk on the lead. This is actually a terrible matchup for us. I'm going to stay in a bit because I'm guessing they're going to want to throw a Mud Bomb, and I try to catch it there on Defense Form Deoxys. But they're not swapping out as well. They're deciding to dump some of their energy, which is fine with me. I'm okay coming back into this matchup with Galarian Stunfisk and throwing an Earthquake because I'm almost to it, right? So what we're going to do is let Defense Form Deoxys soak all of this energy. That is fine. Keep discharging me, please. And then we're just going to go for basically double Psycho Boost right here. They're deciding to stay in, so I'm going to go ahead and go for Psycho Boost, but they get another discharge, and I'm going to trust that this actually won't KO. I think I survived with about 2 or 3 HP, which we do. And now I can go for double Psycho Boost right here. And this is what's really nice about double Psycho Boost is against Pokemon that would resist it. Like the Stunfisk, it actually does neutral, so now we can get back to back. The second one doesn't do as much damage because of the attack lower from the move, but we can at least chunk it very, very low. Now, I'm also predicting that this is their only counter to a flyer, which means Tropius might have a lot of play endgame, especially with energy. They may have something in the back that also counters Galarian Stunfisk, but I am ahead on energy, so hopefully we can win this matchup out. So we take out Galarian Stunfisk right there. We're pretty loaded on energy, and we do see a Hypno now come in. So this is their only answer to Tropius, and this also tells me there may be something weak to Tropius in the back. It might be a Azumarill, might be a Fighter. Not too sure. I don't think it's going to be a Azumarill because of the grass weakness on the lead, because, you know, Venusaur does really, really well against the Stunfisk, but I'm guessing it's going to be a Fighter. So we get a shield, and the second I get a shield, I'm going to swap into Galarian Stunfisk, and sure enough, it's a Scrafty in the back. What's great about Scrafty as well is it takes neutral damage from Earthquake, which is why we saved all this energy right here. And I decided to swap out once I got shield advantage. That's very, very important, because if Scrafty had 2 shields right here, it'd be very unfortunate, but now it's going to put them in the decision to want to shield. And what I'm looking to do is get that final shield. That's my win condition right here with Tropius. is I get this final shield, or I take out the Scrafty, and we take out the Scrafty with 2 Earthquakes. So that is beautiful. Hypno is going to be coming back in, and there's really not a lot Hypno can do right now. I'm going to go ahead and shield my Stunfisk because I know, well, Shadow Ball right there, that's a good shield. I know Rock Slide will do a lot of neutral damage, and we're going to put a lot of pressure on them to get that final shield. And Tropius, even if they let it go through, Tropius Air Slashes now can take out the Hypno, which is why I then swapped back into the Tropius and did fast moves right there to take it out. So that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Alright, so we have Pelipper on the lead again. This is not a good matchup. So what we're looking to do is land a Rock Slide, swap into DD to soak a charge move. I'm hoping to soak the Weather Ball, or try to get that Psycho Boost like we did before. We land it, which is beautiful. We go into Defense Form Deoxys. We're going to try to go for that Psycho Boost, and then they swap right away. So thankfully I didn't click it. Now, again, in this matchup against Galarian Stunfisk, you do not want to throw your energy right away. I will throw a Thunderbolt here, though, because Thunderbolt, even though it is double resisted because of ground, it at least does enough chip damage. So I'm going to build... Actually, I decided to go for Psycho Boost. In future battles, I go for Thunderbolt. But the Thunderbolt would have done neutral or resisted damage, and then just more counters. I think I learned the Defense Form Deoxys Galarian Stunfisk matchup as I was playing these sets, and they get better the higher I climb, because I learned from this, like, okay, I could have done a lot more counter damage if I went for Thunderbolt and then double Psycho Boost, because what they're looking to do is farm as much energy as they can and throw a Rock Slide at the last second. So hopefully I can get to another one. Yeah, I can get to another one right here. So if I would have gone for Thunderbolt and double Psycho Boost with the counter damage, I think we could have potentially taken it out, or at least forced a shield right there. But we do get their energy, which is great. And looking at the health, I think 2 Mud Shots should be able to take out the Galarian Stunfisk here, and they may not be able to get to Earthquake, which is definitely ideal. And now we're ahead on energy versus the Pelipper coming back in. But Pelipper does have a Weather Ball, so we will see a Weather Ball come in right here. We're not going to shield. We're going to go ahead and let this go. And then we're going to hopefully, yeah, I do decide to swap. We're going to swap into Tropius, and the final Pokemon is going to be Defense Form Deoxys. So again, I think this is the matchup where they didn't have Rock Slide. They only had Thunderbolt, so we'll have to see. I don't think I shield the first one. Yeah, I don't shield the first one. It is Thunderbolt. Okay, so this is the matchup I was thinking of, where you want to make them throw that first one to make sure, because otherwise you technically don't need to shield on that matchup. So we do just keep throwing Leaf Blades right here. Things are actually looking pretty decent for us. We have quite a bit of health left on Galarian Stunfisk as well, and energy. I think I'm 1 fast move away from a Rock Slide. So what I'm hoping to do is potentially swap to catch a Rock Slide on Galarian Stunfisk from Defense Form Deoxys and get the Rock Slide off against the Pelipper. So this is, I think I do decide to swap after this charge move. So I'm going to go ahead and shield the Tropius right here. And then I'm going to swap. They have Psycho Boost as well. So Psycho Boost, and then here we go. That's where the Pelipper comes in, and now we go for the Rock Slide. So again, was hoping to catch a charge move from Defense Form Deoxys, maybe a back-to-back, and then throw Rock Slide. But yeah, that's going to be a good battle either way. Having that shield advantage is very, very huge right here. But yeah, in Tropius, if you're using Tropius or Jumpluff versus Defense Form Deoxys, just make sure they throw the Rock Slide, or they have Rock Slide, before you give up a shield when you're at full health, because you will be able to survive that. And we're going to take out Defense Form Deoxys right there. Venusaur is a bit different. Psycho Boost does super effective damage, so you definitely have to watch out for that. But yeah. We are going to go ahead and go into Galarian Stunfisk versus Tropius now. Okay, so this is actually pretty positive for us, and we'll have to see what they decide to swap into. They are going to swap into their own Galarian Stunfisk right here. So what I'm going to do is throw the Earthquake right away, but they actually get it before me, which is interesting. So this was a CMP tie, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. I'm thinking it is going to be Earthquake. It is Earthquake, and they snuck in a fast move, which means I actually didn't CMP tie, which means they were ahead on energy from me, which doesn't make sense. So now what I know is I'm behind. So what I need to do is swap into Tropius 1 away. So there's 1 away. I'm going to swap. And if this is Earthquake, everyone, we just caught it on Tropius. Because of the Grass Flying typing, we will absolutely resist this Earthquake. And it is. That does nothing right there, which is huge. And Leaf Blades will actually really start to add up here against Galarian Stunfisk as well. Rock Slide does hurt as well, but it won't one-shot. So we're just going to keep going for Leaf Blades right here. But catching that Earthquake was pretty huge in the matchup. So we are going to see a Bastiodon now come in. Okay, so what we're hoping to do right here is actually be able to swap out, because I do not want this Bastiodon completely farm me down. Leaf Blade does not do a lot of damage. There's still that Tropius on the lead that we have to worry about, but my switch clock is coming back up. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the Leaf Blade right here before they clicked the charge move. So hopefully I can swap into Defense Form Deoxys and start getting ahead on energy. This is the most swaps I've ever done in a game, and it's because of so many bulky Pokemon. So now we can soak all these charge moves on Defense Form Deoxys, which is really nice. We can fully counter down. We'll have loaded energy. Tropius may come back in, and we're going to be able to throw Thunderbolts against it. Again, I'm okay letting this go. My win condition is basically with either Galarian Stunfisk or Tropius right now, depending on how this matchup goes, and they do swap back in Tropius. So now I'm going to go ahead and go for Thunderbolt. It's really my only play right here for neutral damage without lowering my attack, and hopefully I can get to 2. We can get to 2 right here, so this is going to be pretty nice. Definitely getting Tropius somewhat within range for some rock slides. Heck, even some air slashes as well might be able to get it down. But now both of our Tropius are at basically the same health, and I'm going to need energy on Galarian Stunfisk in order to win this game. So they do decide to throw a Leaf Blade right here. I'm going to let this go. The win condition, again, is that Earthquake from the Galarian Stunfisk, hopefully catching that on Tropius, because if they let this go, that means they're going to save the shield, which they do. So I'm going to swap right away because they have Earthquake. And man, did I just catch 2 Earthquakes on a Tropius? Please tell me I did. I did. I caught 2 Earthquakes right there. That is awesome. So now we can go for Leaf Blade right here. This should be getting the final shield, or they just may let it go. I think there is still a Bastiodon in the back. There is still Bastiodon in the back. They actually swapped it out at the last second. So this is what happens when you guys are climbing your way to Legend. Swaps, sack swaps, saving Pokemon for a sack swap, all these kind of plays happen all the time, which is a lot of fun. So this Rock Slide is going to be taking us out, which is fine. I should be able to fast move down right now with Galarian Stunfisk. They won't be able to get to an Earthquake, and then the Bastiodon is in the back, and we should be able to throw the Earthquake right here, and that is going to be a good battle. They did decide to surrender, so that's all right. But yeah, these are some sweaty battles, everyone. It's absolutely sweaty up here. Stunfisk versus Tropius. Again, I've seen a lot of Tropius, which is why I decided to try mine out, and it works. So we do see a swap now into Azumarill. I'm going to go ahead and go for Leaf Blade right here, and then I believe, let's see what I do. I think I go into Defense Form Deoxys. No, I go into the Tropius right here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into Tropius. Leaf Blade is going to do a lot of damage, and I'm going to overfarm as well. And I also believe I decided to... no, I let this go. It's just going to be play rough. So it was up to 6 bubbles, not 5, which was interesting. That tells me maybe they don't have Ice Beam. So I'm going to go ahead and throw Leaf Blade right now after I get back to back. What I want to have is residual energy on the back end of this fight, so that if Tropius comes back in, I can get to an Air Slash at least and chunk some health. And they're going to have to throw energy as well. I might be able to get to 2 if they don't. So we're going to go ahead and throw Aerial Ace right here. This is going to do super effective damage in the matchup because of that grass typing, but it doesn't do a whole lot, but at least it chunks. So that's what I'm looking for, is to just chunk some health, and they're going to be throwing their own Aerial Ace right here. I'm going to let this go. Seeing that Azumarill's gone, I'm guessing there may be a Bastiodon, a Galarian Stunfisk, potentially maybe even a fighter in the back, so having shields for Defense Form Deoxys might work out really well. And there, sure enough, there is a fighter. So what we're doing in this matchup now is we resist all those counters, and sometimes Metachams don't run Ice Punch. Ice Punch is probably going to be the best move in this matchup, whereas Psychic and Power Up Punch are resisted. And thankfully we have Thunderbolt and Psycho Boost because of the fighting Psychic typing. Psycho Boost does neutral, but we do not want to throw Psycho Boost right away because, again, it lowers our attack, which means we do less and less damage. So what we have to do is actually just throw Thunderbolts and fake that we don't have Psycho Boost. We do get a shield right there, which is fine. It is kind of counterintuitive when it comes to energy, but it's intuitive when it comes to damage output. So again, we're not going to be throwing any shields yet. They're just power up punching, which is fine, which tells me they probably only have Psychic and power up punch, which means the final power up punches, which we're going to see maybe 2 more, is when I need to start shielding. We do get a second shield right there, which is great. So now my win condition right here is going for double Psycho Boost. So I'm going to go ahead and shield right here. This could be an Ice Punch, but it's just going to be another power up punch, so that just confirms they're probably running Psychic. We get a bit of lag as well, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw the Psycho Boost before building up to 2. I should have built up to 2, but I wasn't sure I was going to be able to get it. And Psycho Boost does do a lot of damage right there, as you guys saw, and we're going to be able to get to another one just in time. So this is very, very close. This is kind of how you have to play that matchup. You got to get shields, get health with Thunderbolt, and then do the Psycho Boost at the end. We are going to see the Tropius come back in, and then I'm going to go ahead and shield right here, shield that Leaf Blade, and then go for back-to-back Rock Slides, which does do super effective damage to the Tropius because of that flying typing. But that Defense Form Deoxys Medicham matchup is definitely very dangerous, but Psycho Boost helps out towards the end because you can get those back-to-back Psycho Boosts to take it out when it's basically like under 20% health. But you got to get it there with Thunderbolt and hopefully get shields as well. So we do take out the Tropius, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played. All right, moving into the next one. Let's see how this one goes. We have Alolan Marowak on the lead. Okay, so this is actually pretty positive for us considering our backline is very weak to Alolan Marowak. So what I'm going to do is basically build right up to Earthquake. I should have done one more Mud Shot right there. I only did 7, which means if they were counting, they're probably not going to shield, and they don't. So that's a mess up on me, but that's okay. They're deciding to stay in, and I can get off another Rock Slide right away. So this is actually going to apply a lot of pressure to get a shield, which is ideally what I want. I wanted to chunk health and shield, so we do get a shield, and they're actually staying in, and then now they swap out into Hypno. So what I'm going to do is just going to go ahead and throw this Earthquake right here to chunk the Hypno. I could have instantly gone into Tropius looking back at this now, considering I had shield advantage and saved all the energy here. And yeah, I swapped now into Tropius on the charge move. So a better play right there would have to save my energy, at least save a Rock Slide, and then come in with Tropius and look to win this matchup because I did have shield advantage. So we're going to overload on energy and throw the Leaf Blade right as they get to the next Shadow Ball right here. They may only have Thunder Punch Shadow Ball, which Shadow Ball is going to be the one that kills us. They take us out, which is fine, and Alolan Marowak is going to be coming back in, and it decides to throw its energy right away. I'm perfectly fine with this. I'm going to let this go, Galarian Stunfisk, and it's going to be Shadow Ball as well. So they may be running Shadow Ball Bone Club or Shadow Ball Fire Blast. I'm not too sure. Either way, Stunfisk has to come back in right here, and we need to get to this Rock Slide. They do decide to throw their energy, so I'm going to go ahead and shield, and this tells me it's probably going to be Bone Club because it was a bit too quick. So yeah, it is going to be Bone Club. So we are going to go for this Rock Slide. Hopefully they let this go because I kind of messed up that mid game. I'm letting myself get lower, letting myself lose a lot of energy, and now we're going to swap in Defense Form Deoxys, and there's going to be an Alolan Ninetales in the back. Rock Slide in this matchup on Defense Form Deoxys obviously is very, very positive because it does super effective damage, but Thunderbolt does good as well, so, right? So we do get a shield, and then I'm actually kind of concerned that they're going to get too many Weather Balls, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw Psycho Boost right away. And I kind of panicked. That was a panic Psycho Boost because I wasn't sure how much damage that Weather Ball would have done after another Charm, so that one extra Charm would have taken us out, so I don't think I would have actually gotten to the Psycho Boost or the Thunderbolt. So now Defense Form Deoxys goes down. We're going to bring back in Galarian Stunfisk. We save the shield, so we're going to go ahead and shield this right here. Because Weather Ball is such a low energy charge move with Charm, they can get to it quite quickly. So now we're going to be able to get to Rock Slide. So this game shouldn't have been this close. I should have managed my energy better. Come in with Tropius against Hypno right away and saved all that energy on Galarian Stunfisk and quite a bit of health as well. Yeah, so let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Man, we got a lot of battles today. All right, so we have Alolan Ninetales on the lead. This is pretty positive for us. They do swap out right away into Politoed, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in Tropius. This is dangerous. So when it came to this team running it, the losses that I did have were super hard counters. So a super hard counter to Galarian Stunfisk, super hard counter to Tropius, and hard counter to Defense Form Deoxys. Or it came from mistakes on my end. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot right here. What I'm watching out for is Blizzard. They have Weather Ball, which is fine. And then hopefully I can get to another Leaf Blade. No, I cannot. I decide to let this go. I decide to let it go. And it's a Blizzard. Boom! That takes out my Tropius. So matches like that did happen. I want to show you guys that, you can beat this team with a, counter for ABC and just hard win that. So, for example, maybe like a Shadow Machamp on the lead, a Skarmory in the back, and a Sableye Safe Swap handles all three of these Pokemon, right? Shadow Machamp to Galarian Stunfisk, Skarmory to Tropius, Sableye to Defense Form Deoxys. But If you're facing off against somewhat neutral matchups where you either win lead, lose lead, and it's a lot of energy in play, it comes down to mistakes and good plays by my opponent. So them throwing the Weather Ball, then throwing the Blizzard was a great call by them. So right here, there's really not a lot I can do. They now have Rainy Castform in the back, which is absolutely going to shred the Galarian Stunfisk right here. I'm hoping to get to another Earthquake. I could have done a bit better by throwing Rock Slide first to get the shield, then Earthquake, but this Weather Ball is basically going to take us out, and I don't get to the Earthquake as well, which is very, very unfortunate because I could have potentially come in and countered down. So there was definitely a win con there if I made better choices in the mid game by going for Rock Slide, then Earthquake, or getting that Earthquake off, because now there's nothing I can do. They're just going to Water Gun me down and throw the Weather Ball. So that's going to be a good game to my opponent. Great Politoed Blizzard safe swap right there. That was really nice to see. And let's go ahead and move into this next battle. So we have Stunfisk on the lead versus Alolan Marowak again. So hopefully I manage my energy a bit better. I think this was later on. This might have been this morning. Yeah, I think I build up to Earthquake this time, and they swap out actually into Umbreon, which is pretty interesting. So we'll have to see what's in the back. I'm guessing I'm not sure. Maybe it might be a Azumarill, or something that counters a Azumarill, right? So I'm thinking it might be a Grass, something like that. But we can bring in Tropius right here to Umbreon. This is definitely a positive matchup for us, especially since we've chunked quite a bit of health, and we can just throw out these Leaf Blades right here. And we can actually come out of this matchup, I think, in the no shield with very little health, which means Alolan Marowak won't get a lot of farm. And we save some energy there on Galarian Stunfisk as well. So Umbreon's going to keep throwing these foul plays. That is fine with me. And we're just going to look to overload on energy because I want to at least get one charge move. So we're one more fast move right there. I think I can fast move down after this. But I want to at least get an Aerial Ace off on the Alolan Marowak that will probably be coming back in. So we do get it low, and now we're going to be able to farm down. So we do get that last Air Slash through. So this last charge move won't take us out. Gets us very low, so this is ideal in the mid game right here is what you want to see. You want to have the Tropius extremely low, and then hopefully I can get to the Aerial Ace. I can't, so I'm just going to throw the Leaf Blade right here. At least do some chip damage. Any extra damage is needed, and we do chip away a bit of health right there. So Galarian Stunfisk is going to go ahead and come back in. We still have quite a bit of loaded energy. We already have an Earthquake, and we threw the Rock Slide on CMP tie with the charge move coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and shield myself, and it is another Shadow Ball, which is great. And we CMP tied right here, and they definitely have to fear the Earthquake. This Galarian Stunfisk had a lot of energy, so hopefully we get a shield. We do get a shield. That is positive. We're going to go ahead and build up. They swap into a Azumarill. Okay, so they did have a Azumarill in the back, which is fine. Defense form Deoxys can handle this pretty well. This is why we're running that Thunderbolt right here to handle the Azumarill. It's a pretty positive matchup, especially if they don't land the Hydro Pump. And I believe they only went up to 6 bubbles, so I'm guessing this is going to be Play Rough, and I let it go. So it is going to be the Play Rough right there, which is good, because if they built up to 7, I would have definitely feared the Hydro Pump, and I probably would have shielded. And I think I actually let this one go as well, because my win con is basically with Galarian Stunfisk and Energy, and I know I can survive one more Play Rough, and I do decide to go for Psycho Boost, thinking I might be able to get to 2, knowing that they're probably going to shield, which they do. I was hoping to be able to get to another one, but I didn't have enough health, sadly. But now Galarian Stunfisk can come in. We're going to overload a bit on energy right before they get to their charge move, probably Ice Beam, and we're just going to throw this Earthquake. This is going to take out the Azumarill, and then all we need to do is get to 1 Earthquake versus the Alolan Marowak right here, because Rock Slide does do less damage, and that would have probably barely not KO'd, but we did have residual energy, so this Earthquake will take out Alolan Marowak, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. This was my final battle before hitting Legend. So we have Abomasnow on the lead, Shadow Abomasnow. What's dangerous about this matchup is the energy balls that land. So I'm going to go ahead and throw Rock Slide on 7. So 7 is energy ball, and I'm going to go ahead and shield right here as well. But it was a Weather Ball shield bait, so nice shield bait on them. Rock Slide does do super effective damage though because of the ice typing, and it's important to be counting these fast moves right here. So what they're going to do is they're going to go 3, 4, 5. This is just a Weather Ball. They did not build up to Energy Ball, so I'm not going to give it a shield right here, which is fine. And we do have Rock Slide ready to go. So what we're actually going to do is get this Rock Slide off. And since we already got 1 shield from them, this should be chunking health. I'm going to try to fast swap into Defense Form Deoxys to get counter damage off. We do get counter damage off, and now we're in a Defense Form Deoxys mirror fight, which is actually pretty good considering we are ahead on energy and we're sneaking in fast moves as well. what you want to do with this fight, they're going for Rock Slides, we're going to be going for Thunderbolts, and this is where Psycho Boost really pays off at the end, is being able to get to that Psycho Boost. So this is going to play out kind of like Azumarill matchups where no one shields until the very, very end, and we're just going to go for another Thunderbolt right here. I'm looking to sneak fast moves as often as I can because it's going to pay off to get to that Psycho Boost at the end. They do decide to throw a Thunderbolt against us, which is fine. We're going to throw our own Thunderbolt. And now we're going to go for the Psycho Boost once we get it. So this is definitely going to be a close race, but because of our extra energy, we are going to be able to get to the Psycho Boost in time. Hopefully this gets the final shield or takes it out. I think both of which I'm okay with, and we do take it out, which is fine. So we maintain switch advantage and even shields, and we are going to see Azumarill come in. So they are going to get 3 bubbles off right there. And we can bring in Tropius. Now, what's dangerous about Tropius versus Azumarill and Abomasnow is the ice moves, right? Ice Beam and Weather Ball. But I think they built up to 6 right there, which tells me, or actually no, it was 5. So I do decide to shield the Ice Beam, which is great. And I know they want to swap into Abomasnow. Abomasnow is, I think, 2 fast moves away. 2 or 3 fast moves away, which is pretty quick from a Weather Ball. So I see the swap, and I instantly swap into Galarian Stunfisk. Reason being, this Abomasnow, after those 2 Powder Snows, has to throw its energy on Galarian Stunfisk, which means it has no energy for Tropius, which means we can come in and do 1 fast move right here against the Abomasnow and take it out. And we still have enough health to be able to survive an Ice Beam because Tropius is a thick flying dinosaur, confirmed. So Ice Beam right here will not be enough damage to take us out. We need to build up to 2 Leaf Blades because they do have 1 shield left. So we will throw this first Leaf Blade. This is going to be getting the final shield from Azumarill, and the second one will be taking it out. So like I said, these games were sweaty, absolutely sweaty. It took all my willpower and focus and determination to really grind through these matches, and great games to my opponents. These were some fantastic matches. That was not the last one. That was not the last one. I kid you. I kid you not. Okay, this was the last one. On my last battle, I faced off against a legend. That's all I remember. So we actually have Umbreon on the lead. So this is actually somewhat of a neutral matchup, and you guys are probably laughing because you can see the timestamps down below, and you go, ZyoniK, that's not the last one, man. You got another one. Yeah, you got me. All I remember from my sets this morning on my final one is that I faced off a legend, so it must have been Poggers here. So what we're going to do in this matchup here is go for Earthquake. Umbreon is pretty good against our backline, and they do decide to swap now in Defense Form Deoxys, which actually I'm okay with. I'm going to go for Earthquake again right here. I want to be chunking a lot of health. Excuse me. Because Tropius actually I think can do pretty well. And I'm also thinking, considering they ran Umbreon on the lead, and they ran, I'm just going to keep going for Earthquakes right here. They ran Umbreon on the lead, they ran Defense Form Deoxys safe swap. They probably have a hard counter to Azumarill in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and swap into Defense Form Deoxys right here. So they may have something like Gavantula, they may have something like a Grass, they may have, I don't know, something weird, but I think they're going to have a hard counter to an Azumarill and Fighters as well. So we'll have to see what it is. But we're just going to keep building up energy. They swap into Umbreon, which is fine by me. I'm going to go ahead and let this... Actually, no, I decide to shield here. Yeah, I decide to shield because I need to get off more damage to chip away the health, because Tropius, I really don't want to take a lot of damage, and I'm okay with going into a 1-to-1 shield endgame with Tropius, considering that Umbreon and Defense Form Deoxys are probably its hardest counters. So we're going to go ahead and let the Defense Form Deoxys go down, and now Tropius can come in and farm this down for energy, which is going to be pretty nice. We still have Galarian Stunfisk for a nice safe swap for us endgame if we need it. I have talked so much today. 33 minutes of battles. Wow. Okay, so we let the foul play go. We're going to farm down, and then Defense Form Deoxys may come back in, but let's see. It's going to be a Haunter, but they swapped into Defense Form Deoxys right away. So if you guys looked in the top right, you guys might be able to rewind a bit. But they brought in Haunter, Poison, Ghost, or Gengar, and then swapped in Deoxys. So I'm committing to this farm down right here. And I didn't realize I had 2 Aerial Aces. I was just going to go for double Leaf Blade right here. But in hindsight, I probably should have gone for 2 Aerial Aces. But this first Leaf Blade, they let it go, which is not good. And I don't know how much energy I have on Galarian Stunfisk, but I'm thinking I'm close to a Rock Slide, so I swap now into Galarian Stunfisk, and I'm nowhere near, which means they farm me down. This is not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to be able to get off to the Leaf Blade right here at the last second, and that is going to be a good battle. So in hindsight, I should have gone for double Aerial Ace. That would have been ideal. And yeah, that is going to be a good battle, very well played. So that was the final battle right there. We were at 2974, 481 wins out of 815 battles, going 4-1 in our final set. 2-hit legend, 3024 rating. And we did it. We did it with a lot of different teams, right? Just because I used this team that you guys see over there to push me those final couple hundred points doesn't mean I didn't use other great teams, unique teams, spicy Pokemon climbing my way up. You guys have been following the channel. You guys know I use a lot of unique stuff, but I decided to try a very hardcore meta team, and it paid off. If you guys use hardcore meta Pokemon, lo and behold, they perform really, really well. But yeah, this team definitely has its weaknesses, so don't think you have to run this team in order to climb, right? You could run counters to this team, and there are replacements. You guys could run Venusaur for Tropius or Jumpluff, and you could run Mew or Hypno for Defense Form Deoxys, but I decided to run with this team. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Kind of feel a big sigh of relief now that I hit Legend, and we are just going to be continuously pumping out content, finding unique teams and showcasing battles like we always have. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.